Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. You are here on episode 172, if you can believe that. It's been a great haul so far. We got a great show for you tonight. I'm here with Alan Tate, Bill Algie, and Mr. Steve Wright. He's a friend of ours, and he has his own podcast called Hotter Than Hell. I think you can tell if you're watching, you can see by his shirt. He's sporting and promoting, as he should, which I'm not. I got
the same shirt on you've worn for the last 14 weeks.
You know what this is?
Just remember that. Wash that freaking shirt, dude. Throw that shit away.
My washer has ran since the last show, so yes, it is clean.
Oh, wait, it ran away.
We don't have. Hold on a second. We don't have smell-o-vision, so nobody gives a shit.
There you go. But Steve, thank you for coming on. Like I said, we've been doing this because of we're going to the podcast expo here, the Rockin' Pod coming up, and we've been having a few of you guys on. So tell us a little bit about your show, if people aren't.
All right, we're pretty much like you guys. We're a hard rock and heavy metal podcast. Hotter Than Hell is the name, kind of spin on the Hotter Than Hell thing. So we incorporate Kiss into the episode in some way, shape, or form, whether it be in our news or just, they come up in conversation when you talk about other bands. And I do the podcast with my partners, BB, and my son Dylan he's the guy that makes everything go for us. He's our if you want to call him our engineer, our producer, and he participates in the show. He does all the editing and everything. He's our Alan.
Does he have a beard like that? I mean, that ZZ Top thing going on?
Not that long. He's only in his 20s, so you got to give him a couple more years to grow it that long, though.
It took me 49 years to get this.
Yeah, he's not that epic. Not yet. But, we have different topics every week. We just put out our 100th episode last week, and part 2 will be out by the time you guys have this out. And it's rolling along. It's rolling along great. We love it. And myself and BB will be at the Rockin' Pod Expo this year. And Dylan and BC, they can't make it, but we will be representing.
That's awesome.
Cool, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys since last year down there.
Yeah, that was a great time last year. I think this year's even going to be. I think this new venue that they've got coming up, it's going to be a great venue it's at the Marriott Airport Marriott. For anybody that wants to know, and the dates are August. Come on, help me out, guys.
Why do you do that? You go down
this road,
and then we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
To
August 25th, I believe it is.
No, August 25th is Gene Simmons' birthday.
Okay, it's a week before that.
August 10th. Stop. Go to agesofrock.com. On the right column of the screen, there's all the Rockin' Pod info you need.
It's August 9th and 10th.
Yes.
9th. There you go. We were actually, and I'm going to be going down. I think all of we're going down Friday, and they're going to. Steve, you going to be down to Friday night?
Yeah, we're going to be flying in late afternoon on Friday.
You come in from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania, Scranton area, northeast.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's going to be a great night. Friday night's going to be just kind of a party situation, and they're going to have the rock and roll residency going to be playing. Also, the other band, Alan,
8 Ball.
8 Ball. There you go. They're going to be playing. It's going to be a good night. And actually, also there's a third band, isn't it? I thought there was another band playing before them.
There might be. I don't know.
All right.
I know when I'm supposed to be there. I know what I'm supposed to do when I get there, which is have beer. No.
Exactly. But anyway, like I said, I've stayed at that hotel, and it is a nice place, and it's going to be a great thing. I say Chris and Zach and Aaron, they're all putting this thing together, and it's going to be. Every one of them have been fun. I mean, we've never had any. I mean, they just keep getting funner every year, and the friendships get better, and more people we meet, newer people we meet, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a great time. We had a real awesome time the first year we went, myself and BC, we just went down just to check it out. And then the second year, which was last year was the second year, right?
Right,
last year we went, we split a table with the guys from Digital Killed, and we had a great time. And it's awesome. Like, just the friends you make. Like, you guys are friends with us now, and David and those guys, David and Chris, Sonny and Steven, it's like it's like a brotherhood now.
Yeah,
it is. It's kind of weird to see each other out somewhere, and it's like, dude, it's like family reunion time. It's cool. It's cool though.
Yeah,
it's cool. And the thing about it too is it's not this big competition thing. It's everybody just trying to help each other out and being cool about, which is really cool. So it's interesting, Steve, because I was in the hospital the last couple of days. So I just want to make sure that you knew this. I spent a lot of time listening to you when I was on Dilaudid.
So you were as hammered as we were then.
It's pretty hammered. So I listened to the 100th episode,
right.
Which I have to totally disagree about the two-timer conversation that you had.
Yeah. I saw that. Like Bill's like, I hate that.
I was drifting in and out of. But I'm like, I heard him say, that's a effing piece of shit or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute, did I hear him say that right? And backed it up a little bit. And I'm like, so I started to text you, and I was like, I fell asleep. I was like, it was funny. My wife would tell you, I'm like, I'm doing something with my phone, and all of a sudden my phone's falling on my face because I can't hold my head out. I was just out. But anyway, I did really, honestly, spend the time when I was in the hospital listening to your 100th episode. So,
you know what you should have did, Bill? You should have, how you can change it and change the speed and make it slower before you do something like you're drunk?
I was listening to it in slow speed. I didn't have to do that.
Maybe if you sped it up, it would have sounded normal.
It might have. Anyway, I did listen to it then. It was a good show, actually. It was really
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I actually listened to it this weekend, too. It was a good time. But I remember when they said the two-timer thing, I go, Bill ain't going to like that.
Well, he's the one that said it. I'm like, what the hell?
and part 2 will actually be out tomorrow from when we're recording this.
Cool.
We usually release them just on Fridays at noon, but with this one being a 2-parter, we decided to put it out in the same week.
Oh, neat. Anyway, I disagree. I think I like that song, man. That's a good song for me.
All right.
It's okay.
Well, we're going to disagree.
That's the great thing about the Kiss catalog. There's enough people, enough stuff in there for everybody to love and hate, and it's all good.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
And like, I'm against, like, if someone says, I love everything.
No, you
all
don't.
The same. There's no way you can. There's no way you can.
No way.
No, the Unmasked, 80s Kiss, mid-80s, that whole catalog part.
I rag a lot on Gene for She's So European, because that is one of, in my opinion, the bottom of the barrel Gene Simmons songs. However, when Bill and I went and saw the Gene Simmons solo band in Fort Wayne, we were standing out in the parking lot, and they sound checked with that. By God, I had my camera up there recording the outside so everybody in the world could hear that.
we were both going, you check that out, dude. It's like we were.
Well,
like,
remember when we saw
they would play all kinds of off the wall shit. We'd all be punching. Mm-hmm. Check it out, man! Did you hear that? I'm standing right here. God damn it!
Remember when we went and seen the Blonder Than Hell? That was one of the songs they played that night. You were like punching me, going, "Look, they're playing that song." We actually recorded a little bit and sent it to Bill. It's like, look what you're missing.
I think I even got excited about hearing Dark Light, and it was which makes me want to hurl. But it's okay.
I think it's just so cool to see and hear different songs played live that you've never seen them play live. I mean, they've been doing the same set list for the last 20 years, and when you see a band, like any band that does it well, you're always glad to see them do something different.
Yeah.
Well, something that I would like to see them do is Sweet Pain, because they've done every other song off of Destroyer except for that one.
They played that on Kiss Cruise 6.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it, so it doesn't count.
I did. Well, it's on YouTube, though. You can check it out on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I will be on the next Kiss Cruise.
I heard that.
Yes.
Everybody
has heard that because I keep telling you.
No, I'm not going this year. We are doing the Monsters of Rock Cruise this year. Actually,
I would like to do that.
Yeah, I would too.
There's like 30-some bands announced already, and I think there was 53 on there last year. And myself, Sonny Pooney, BC, and our buddy Chris that's been on our podcast a bunch of times. We're splitting a cabin, so that's going to be like
Animal House in
a cube.
Animal cabin.
So when is that Monsters of Rock cruise? What time of year is that?
That's in February. It's like February 8th to the 13th. And then
It's next year.
Yeah. And they have
It's already
2 days of
sold
pre-shows
out, so
also.
don't even try.
Oh, it's
Oh,
sold
is it
out?
sold out?
Oh,
Probably. That one sells out pretty quick.
Yeah, I thought it was already sold out. I thought I read that.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, because Sonny was able to get on the pre-sale, so because he's been on, I think this is his fourth one that he's going on, and he booked the cabin for us, so we got lucky and got in on one of the cheaper cabins. Like, who gives a shit? You're sleeping and you're taking a shower in the cabin, and that's it.
So Ace Frehley must be on that cruise because it sold out, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
He's the captain.
And actually, they're going to cruise from Miami to New York and have a show at right outside Madison Square Garden on the Intrepid.
At least Alan got my joke. Alan got that, Ace has been saying some weird shit lately again. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
He's getting.
You got to jump on the bandwagon, man. Jump on the coattails while you can, people.
Yeah, he's keeping his name out there.
That's exactly right.
But they're on that next leg. They're overseas now, and they're kicking ass. Those crowds are huge. Looks like everything's going well. I guess those ones that I've seen, like a lot of those open air stadiums, they're not doing any of the flying, right? Paul's not flying out. I know that they were going to try it that first time, and he's like, no, I waved it off, and he's like, I'm not going to do that.
There's nothing for him to fly out to. There's no
right. But there was one
overhang.
Right. But there was one that the first show they did overseas, they had it set up somehow, and he called it off. He's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to do it." And then they just, but I don't know. I'll have to look back on that and see which one it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, because you're really out there dangling, man. I mean, you're really, you're really, really, really out there dangling.
You're trusting your crew big time with that stuff.
Well, because if you're talking about the first one, they had if I remember seeing it right, they had that I don't know, that whatever it is, that unit, that strut
Causeway
out there, went out to the soundboard. There was nothing. Right. There was nothing from it hanging from the ceiling. They were just no.
Probably tripoding it up or whatever. Yeah. Paul's like, I ain't gonna do that shit.
Nope. They've had some massive crowds, and I know they're festivals, and I know that, but it's still a massive crowd, and there are massive crowds staying around for them to see them in the end, and that's really what matters. I don't care what anybody says; they're still
right. You don't see a lot of empty spots in these shows.
Much empty spots. Hell, we didn't see much empty spots in the States either. I mean, there were a couple shows here and there that had a couple hundred tickets, but there weren't. Right. Well, whatever happened in Phoenix, or was it Phoenix or Scottsdale or whatever the hell it was, where they sold like 6,000 seats or some weird ass thing. But for the most part, it was. Yeah, there was one show down there in Arizona or something that was a weird, funky. Sale. Couldn't figure out why.
Steve, how many shows have you seen on this tour so far? I mean,
just one. Just one in Philadelphia. Yeah, and they're playing in Hershey, Pennsylvania in August, I think, and we're gonna hit that one.
Is that a shed or is that an indoor?
Outdoor stadium. So we'll be getting the European version of the stage, I guess.
We're going to see them in Indy on August 31st, isn't it? What it is, Bill?
Yep.
And it's going to be out the shed. And it'll be interesting to see. Actually, I'm going to be up there quite a bit this year. Got a bunch of tickets for sale.
I got a show tomorrow, actually. REO Speedwagon.
Oh, is that tomorrow night?
Yep.
Awesome.
With Sister Hazel, which I really liked them too. They were kind of one of those. They were actually, they put out. It's kind of funny after Sister Hazel kind of, that music changed and they weren't as popular as they once were. They just started giving their music away on Amazon. They weren't charging people, and you could go on their website and download it. And they got some really good stuff. I mean, it's a lot like it's a lot like the like the other stuff. It's not that it's anyway. But forget it. Right. I don't know what happened. I just derailed there for a second.
I've got as far as concert wise, just July I've got the Pat Benatar, and then I did buy tickets for Alice Cooper. I got those this week. I'm in the first row balcony, row A, right in the center. So guess who's not standing up anytime that night? I get to sit down. I love that. And it's not to be disrespectful. It's just basically I don't want to stand up.
You don't need to.
I don't need to. I got a front row seat, so I'm looking forward to that.
Steven, are you close to the Chance or anything at Poughkeepsie? Do you go up to any shows up there? Is that pretty far away?
I've never been up to the Chance. A couple of my buddies have been up there, and it's probably about 2.5, 3 hours away from us.
That's pretty far.
It's actually closer for us to go to Philadelphia for a show than it is to go to go up there.
You say you're in Scranton?
Yeah,
where you're at?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're pretty equidistant from Philadelphia and New York, so we kind of get the best of both worlds. Any show we kind of really want to go to, we hit.
So do you get all your paper from Duffler Midland? What is it?
Oh, I'm not a fan of the show, but I know.
I can't get it right.
Dunder Mifflin.
Dunder Mifflin. There we go.
Yeah. People around here go crazy.
It sounded like you were
going to hate it.
It sounded like you were going to say you get your paper from Duff McKagan.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
That's where we get the Duff beer.
No, those were his papers. Not
they sell papers. They don't sell that kind of papers.
Rolling papers.
Yeah.
The reason I asked it is because my son's going to be going to school in upstate New York, and I know that's not far away from where he's going to go to school. So I was just trying to see if I'm ever up there sometime. West Point.
Oh, he's going to West Point. That's like 2 hours from where we live. We hit a lot of football games up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Be cool to meet sometime.
Mikey Stadium. Yeah, let me know when you're going up there because my brother's ex-wife's dad did this defensive stats for them since 1973 to about 5 years ago.
Wow.
And he was at every single Army football game, home game from 1973 to like 2014.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Cool. Go Army, beat Navy. There, I got my plug in.
There you go. It's a big game. It's a big game.
It is a big game.
So you say you got REO, and what you got? Anything else coming up here in the next month or so for concert-wise, Bill?
I don't think so because we got all that other stuff going on.
Alan, you got any more coming up the next month?
I'm not sure when all the shows are. I've got the Alice Cooper tickets, the Manson Rob Zombie tickets, Iron Maiden, and Kiss.
Right.
That's all I can think of. I think that's all the tickets I have until the Kiss cruise.
All right.
Yeah, I do have a Tedeschi Truckers.
Oh, yeah, Tedeschi.
Which is not somebody I'm really a huge fan of, but I'm going to be in Denver and going to the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Denver is like, I'm just gonna go.
That'd be worth it just to go to the venue.
Yeah. I've been to we went to the venue and I walked out on the stage and stuff like that. But to see a show there, I just can't imagine what it's going to be like. So that'll be really, really cool.
Steve, you got anything? Got anything coming up here soon?
Yeah. At the end of this month, we have Ace Frehley. Actually, he's playing probably about 30 miles from us.
Cool.
And the Click T-shirts that Jeremy and those guys wear. Ed Spangenberg that does those shirts, he's like a childhood friend of mine. So he's hooking up with us there, and hopefully we can do something to maybe say hello to the guys. And going to see Iron Maiden in July. Then we're going to see Slash the next night. And we have the Kiss show coming up in August. Hoping to get the Alice Cooper tickets. They're not playing really close to us, but far enough where we could hopefully get to go see them. So
cool.
Ace is going to be. Yeah, Ace is going to be here for free at the State Fair in August. I think it's August 2nd, so I'm going to go to that show. It'll be a Friday night. That's the first night of the fair, I think. Opening night.
Is it a Friday night? See, I can't make a Friday.
It's a Friday night. So
what time is it?
But those guys are really cool, Steve. Have you met those guys yet? Have you met Ryan and those guys?
I met Jeremy. Actually Ryan when he was in the band Hair of the Dog. We saw them open up for Rat in Scranton. And I talked to him before Kiss Cruise 6, and he remembered the venue because the venue had a big pole right in the middle of the stage. And he's like, "That's the place with the pole, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I got to talk to him. I introduced myself to Jeremy and to Phil, and I was talking with them on Kiss Cruise last year. Super nice
incredible.
Guys.
Oh yeah, my gosh.
Yeah. Actually, what you need to do is just when is that Ace show?
The 29th of June.
Okay, this will be before the Rock Pod. Just send him a message and let him know you're going to be up there, and just tell him who you are. And I can guarantee you and especially if you're with that Tease guy, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Yeah.
They are the nicest people you're ever going to meet. I mean, they're
just down to earth guys.
Yep, exactly. All right, sounds like a good deal. Vinyl. You guys got any new vinyl this week?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
Hot out of the mailbox.
I got vinyl siding on my house. Does that count?
No.
This is where Alan takes a nap. What do you got, Steve?
Actually, within the last week and a half, I've acquired the discography of Rough Cut, which is only 2 albums. But they have a live album, but I don't think that's out on vinyl. I picked that up. That was like $10, including shipping.
Cool.
And actually, album number 2 from them arrived today. That was $10, including shipping. From Discogs. I know Dennis is a Discogs guy now.
Bill is too, and Bill's
I
a
turned them
big
on.
time.
I just bought mine
And
from
Bill.
them too.
That's great. BC's band, Lizzie Borden, picked that up. Visualize. It has a Metal Blade Records order form inside it, like
Cool.
original from when it came out.
I love getting stuff like that
So-
with extra. Oh,
I know. So, but I don't think I'm going to be getting a Metal Blade shirt for $6.50 or something like that, whatever the price is on it in there. Candido.
Yeah, great record there.
Really good record. Max Webster, the cover's all crappy, but Mark Anthony Kay that comes on our show that does the Kiss FAQ, he's a massive Max Webster fan. And I saw the album for like $2. I figured, how could I go wrong? I picked it up, and it was good. It's really good. It's they're kind of hard to knock down which kind of genre you would put them in, but mild to hard rock in the like early 80s. Good stuff.
Not
And
like New
it's-
England though, right? Not like New England.
No, they're from Canada. They're
Oh,
you can kind
like
of
the greatest band
they're
in
a
the
good
world.
band.
Yeah.
People who don't watch video, you need to watch this one because I'm telling Bill he's number one.
Fingers are flying, folks.
Number 1 in stereo. And this young lady we saw in concert last week, Nita Strauss. We did the VIP. The VIP was like $50. You spent a half an hour with her. She signed all your stuff. And but her boyfriend, Josh, plays drums on the album. And Kat, that was the keyboard player in Vixen, or I'm sorry, Femme Fatale, she's also with her, and she played, so I had them all sign it. And that's pretty much my new ones, though. But Nita Strauss was just so cool, so down to earth. And for as beautiful as she is that nice also. I mean, just a great person.
And she can play the guitar like
Oh, my God. Just like
it's going out.
absolutely shredded, just like crazy. Yeah.
Keep going.
We
And,
need to have her and Ori make an album together.
she talked about that.
That would be wicked.
Someone asked a question to her about who would she like to play with, and then someone said, well, how about Orianthi? She said it would be a crazy mix. She said because they're such opposite players.
Yeah.
And she said she would never say no to it, but with everyone's schedule, she said it's tough to get people together. And she talked a lot about playing with the guys in Alice Cooper and everything. So it was very cool.
Now she is going to be playing with Alice on this next tour, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, good.
And she said that this is the first time since 2000, I want to say like 2013 or something, that it's a totally revamped the show, a total new show.
That's good too. And I love there's not a bad Alice Cooper song. But I would like to see, like I said, some deep cuts, something new. And actually,
she said new set list, everything.
The last few times I've seen them, they didn't do Steven, and I love Steven, and I hope they kind of do a little bit more of that Nightmare kind of thing. I love that little portion that they do.
Nightmare is
I love
my
Steven
favorite
too.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not when your wife says that.
Yeah.
When your wife says Steven.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
That
shit.
depends on the day.
But no, that song actually, I took Max. It was his first concert, my son, and he's 24 now, and that's who my wife and him were all going together again. And that was the year that he played all of his hits, and then he played did the Nightmare situation. And actually, Eric Singer was playing with him that night, and it was like a double thing for me. I was like, I get to see all the Nightmare songs plus seeing Eric Singer playing along with him. It was awesome.
That'd be great.
It was a good night.
So my vinyl find today was not. I didn't find it, but a Discogs buy that I have.
The mailman.
The mailman brought. Yeah, this is from Italy because it said Fragile on the front of it.
He found it.
It's a major award.
Major award, Fragile. It is Eric Clapton Journeyman that has Pretending, Bad Love, Before You Accuse Me, No Alibis. This is a great record. I had this at one time, and at some point I decided that I really weren't going to continue to collect vinyl, so I sold all of it. So now I've bought it all again. But again, great record. I paid and I actually when you put stuff on your want list on Discogs, they send you stuff all the time, right?
Like you get a list of 100 like every day.
Oh, Jesus. And usually they're from
I
Europe.
haven't done that
and
yet.
I'm not, and I don't buy them from Europe usually, but I've been told by a number of people that actually the vinyl coming out of Europe is better because they take care of it. They preserves that stuff better, and the quality is a lot better. So, but this was out of the United States. It was ended up being $9 plus shipping, which was $4. So I ended up paying like $13 for it. And
not bad. It's not bad.
That's great because I have not seen it anywhere that I could get it less than that. And I can take shipping it. Oh yeah, very good shape. Shipping it from Europe, there's no way in hell I could have got it for. No. I couldn't have got it shipped for $13, let alone paying for the record. So I'm excited to get that on the turntable because that's somebody. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, but that's one of my people.
Right. Cool.
So
that was all your albums this week?
Yeah, that's really it. I've been itching to go back out and look, but I've started to kind of get a list. So we're going to pick it. Now we're going to go to Dennis's random finds at the LP store.
No. Well, I did find one. No, I found actually a random find at my house. Now, how weird is this? So, Bill turned me on to the Discogs app, and I've been because I was rebuying albums that I shouldn't be buying. So I went through every album, and I've got 2 stacks of, like I said, the albums that are the old ones that are shitty, they're scratchy. I'm not playing them on my new turntable. I'll play them on the old one just to listen to, but they're going to pop, 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 scratch, scratch, scratch. The good stuff I kept over here. I got 2 bins of those. So I'm looking at, I have the Elvis Costello and the Attraction Forces album, and I bought this here a while back. Never really thought much about it, and I was just checking to make sure it's good. Well, the cover itself is split at the bottom, but what pops out of this album that I didn't know was in there. Now, I don't know if this came with the album or if this was somebody who had this album and just stuck it in there and forgot about it when I bought it at a used store. But it's Columbia, Elvis and the Costello and Attractions, a demonstration not for sale stereo. And it's Watching the Detectives on one side and Accidents Will Happen and Allison on the other side. 45.
That's kind of cool.
But it's actually, I take that back. It's a 33 1/3, but it's small. It's still got the small hole in it. So it's
a double.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So and the thing is, I never knew that was in there till this week when I was going through all the stuff. So that made me go through every album that I had just to make sure, what was in there. Because like I said, if it wouldn't have been for it just falling out, I didn't even know it was in there. It has no sleeve or nothing. So I don't know if that was a bonus with this album itself or somebody just had it and stuck it in there and, So anyway, so it was a find within a find. I thought it was kind of neat. All right. So today I went on, I can't find, these are the ones that, I buy new vinyl that I can't find or just ones that I really, 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 really want. So I'm not going to find these in a used store, but I bought a little bit of some food that I can't find, and for my early birthday present. So I went on to Amazon and got Sonic Highways, which I do have on CD. This was actually cheap. It was $15. And it was through Amazon, and they individually put these in cardboard and then put them in another box. So they're pristine. I love that. Got that one, and I got my 2 favorite Foo Fighter records, which, if you remember from our Desert Island show, the original Foo Fighters. I got the basically the gun, and it does have includes a high quality MP3 album download. I don't know what that means. I guess there's a card for.
It's a high quality MP3 download.
Yeah, album
as opposed to a
bad one,
shitty quality MP3.
I don't know. I could care less. It's just, but anyway, it's the first Foo Fighter album. Wanted to get that one. It came, and this was, I think, a 16 or 18. I don't remember what I paid for that.
Wait. I'm not joking. Is there really a shitty version of an MP3? I mean, is there a non-high
this
quality?
This other album that I got does have a MP3 also. It includes a high-res digital copy, which is a 320 kilobyte MP3.
Oh,
Most of your MP3s are what, 120, 180, something like that?
128 is the minimum that you want.
Okay, so this is a 320 download.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're getting
Well, that
the
answered my
highest-
question. I wasn't being a smartass. I
No,
was
no.
really trying to figure
Yes,
out.
you
That's why I was
were.
into this.
No,
So,
I wasn't. I was
of course,
trying to figure out what does it really mean?
my favorite album was
Great
Foo
album.
Fighters. Now, Steve, sorry.
Steve Bob.
Bob. Got a question for you. This album, I've never seen one like this before. And I'm sure they're around, but I've just never been accustomed to them. This is a double album.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen those before.
And it's a 45.
Oh yeah, there's a couple that are like that. The
Never
new
heard
Deep
of that.
Purple
Right.
Infinite album. If you put that on, it's a double album. They're 45s.
And I guess
What's the purpose of that?
So
I don't know.
I think the sound quality is better at a
It's
45.
probably better
because
sound quality.
the screws aren't as tight as what they are on a regular album. I honestly don't know, but it just says here, please play at maximum volume. So I will be doing that. Because I'm
There's
gonna,
a
as soon as
couple
this,
that are like that.
I've never, because when I was looking at it, it says it's a double album. I'm like going, that's not a double album. But basically there's three songs, and two songs,
Mm-hmm.
on each, so they've just, I don't know. So I'm really kind of interested. This was like $20, but I'm really curious to see what that sounds like.
We did an episode on that album. It was really good. It was one that Dylan picked, and we were like, Foo Fighters out of format. And I was telling him that all the time. But it's a great album. And when I picked up the Deep Purple Infinite one, I put it on, and I don't even think it said on the front that it was 45 when I put it on. And I'm like, what the hell? What? I must have got a defective album or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I need to speed it up. And it was a 45.
Yeah. So I've never had that happen. So my new turntable, I have to take the belt. I have to move it down to the next groove. It's kind of that one of those record players. It's got this really flimsy belt that goes, or a little, it's weirdly weird. But anyway.
Dennis, that shirt that you have on, the break a leg shirt.
Yes.
We saw them at Citi Field where the Mets play for that concert, and Dylan bought a shirt. It's like the Mets uniform shirt, but it's that break a leg.
Really?
Like the Mets colors with the orange and the and the white, and it's like a blue shirt. It's like the Mets shirt, but it has break a leg on the front of it.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw it tour twice. I saw it in Nashville, and then we went to Indianapolis, and that was Bill's first Foo Fighter shows, and he even come out saying that dude rocked out harder in a chair than anybody's ever rocked out on stage.
Absolutely.
It was impressive.
I knew like 5 songs we went in there, and I left there and I said, that's like one of my top 5 shows I've ever seen.
I would agree.
I have.
For sure.
Unfortunately, he does not come to Evansville, so I have to drive at least 2 hours, and I've drove up to 5 hours to see those guys, and I've seen them all over the country. I just can't get them here. But anyway, so that was my record bias of the week. So I got my Foo fix, so I'm all good, and I'm getting ready to. Like I said, I'm really kind of curious to hear if the quality sound is any better on 33 compared to 40 or 45 to 33. But we'll find out. So,
Let me know what you think, if it does or not.
I will. I'll definitely do that. All right. So anyway, we had Steve on tonight, and invited him. When we invited him, we said to give us a topic.
Oh, hey, we have a guest. Oh, I forgot.
He's been on here all night. He's been chiming in. He's a buddy. It's like, it's not really a guest. He's a buddy.
We're just hanging.
We're just hanging.
He's one of our dudes. So anyway, he did. I asked him to give us a topic. And Steve, what is your topic?
I thought it'd be interesting to talk about your top 3 bands that you've never got to see. And we talked about it a little bit before we got going here. I figure it could be, I kind of thought that like someone like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin would kind of be given, or like the Doors or someone like that. But whatever you think.
Okay.
And I have a list of about 30, but I'll narrow it down to 3.
I've got some on my list. I don't know if I don't have 30, but there probably could be.
No, I got mine down to. I play by the rules.
No, you don't. You make shit up, dude. You made shit up. You were telling Dennis, you were telling Alan and I, it's got to be people that are still alive, and they got to be alive for the last 15 years and have had to play within the last 12 years. What the hell? I don't know. There was like some big ass rules.
No, I took a paragraph and I basically
made shit up. That's it.
Sounds like my guys on the show accusing me all the time of changing
whatever it is.
Like, whose line is it anyway? The rules don't matter.
Totally.
It doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to do. You know what? Make up bands. I mean, just make up a band. I don't give a shit. I don't care. All right, who wants to go first?
Why
Steve.
don't we let our esteemed guest go
Yeah,
first?
why don't you let our guest go?
All right. Oh.
All right, one of the bands that I've always wanted to see. I love these guys. I picked up their first album, and I never got to see these guys. The band Zebra, with Randy Jackson, not the dog Randy Jackson, the the good one. Dog.
That's great.
And
Equal opportunity.
Guy Gelso's drummer, and Felix Henneman is the keyboard. He plays keyboards and bass, and they're just a phenomenal band. And I've never got to see them. And they were supposed to play a show near us in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half away from us, about maybe 2 years ago. And they canceled the show like the night of the show, and I was like so pissed.
Oh wow!
And but I've never got to see them, so I'm hoping maybe that for some odd reason, maybe they would be able to be on the Masters of Rock cruise that we're going on. So that would be they're my first band. Love those guys. I've followed them since they came out, and they're just a phenomenal band.
Have any of you other guys? Have you guys any of you seen Zebra?
I don't know. I mean, I saw so many bands back in the '80s that were opening for other
I came
bands.
in late to a
hard to
REO
know.
Speedwagon show at the stadium, and Zebra did open that night. It was Survivor. It was Zebra, Survivor, and
Yes.
and REO.
Yep.
And
I
I
didn't see
caught
'em
the
then.
very last song of Zebra. We got in late that day.
That's
Yeah,
how I
we were
ended up getting to see Brittany Fox over
We were
in Germany.
I think we were sitting outside, drinking beers or what have you, and tailgating, and then we got
We've
in.
done that. Oh yeah.
And we caught the last song. Well, it was Who's Behind the Door.
Who's Behind the Door, right.
So I got to see that, and then we watched Survivor, and then we watched REO. But they were really good, and I really kicked myself in the ass for not seeing it because I'm a big Zebra fan. So yeah.
Don't you hate that when you party out in the parking lot, then you get in, you hear the opening band kick dance,
Well,
you're like,
yeah,
Yeah.
The thing about that is they say the show starts at 7:30,
Yeah.
so you get in at 7:30, and the first band started at 6:45.
yeah, and
You
they're
know,
done.
and that's bullshit because
Yep.
a few years back, a friend and I went up to Deer Creek to see Night Ranger and Journey and Foreigner. And that's basically what it was. We were standing in line waiting to get in, and as soon as the doors opened, Night Ranger started. So by the time we got there, we got to see 2 or 3 songs. It's like, fuck that.
Yep,
Yeah.
that happened to me too.
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yep. Crazy. I did see that tour though. Now that you say that, because I remember seeing them.
Yeah. I thought you did.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see. On my list, I have Journey with Steve Perry. That's something that I have always wanted to see, and I just can't. I've tried to bring myself to go, with Arnell, and I don't know that I want to do it.
Well, I have
just
seen
want to preserve
them.
that. I don't know
Yeah.
why it is, but I just nah.
Well, I've seen Journey with Arnell, and it's good, but it's not the same. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it. Of course,
It's good,
we're
though. It
saying
is
that,
good.
and we've all gone to see Foreigner without Lou Graham, and we all love it.
Oh hell, we've seen Foreigner when there's nobody,
And
not
we've
a
seen
soul.
Styx, and we've seen Styx without Dennis Dion, and it's still good. Arnell, you got to give him the break. That dude,
Yeah.
he's a firecracker, and he sounds good. He does Journey very well, and he's a asset to that band.
Yeah, I have nothing against him at all. It's just I want that
Yeah.
to be the original.
And the
Yeah,
music's everything and you're going to sing along with it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, Bill, you probably want to correct yourself. Rather than say the original, you
Yeah.
probably want to mean the popular
Steve
lineup.
Perry. Yeah, Steve
Because,
Perry, not the original.
Yeah.
I get it.
They started out
Yeah.
as a blues band, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Dennis DeYoung, or not Dennis DeYoung, I'm sorry, yeah, he said Styx. When Dean Castronova was in the band, have you guys heard him sing any of the Journey stuff?
Yeah, he's
Amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Absolutely
Really,
amazing.
really well.
He could have did the lead singing when he was in the band.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's a great. You ever meet him? He's in. The guy has the energy of like a 3-year-old.
I
Crazy. I mean, really cool guy.
He was on our show.
Yeah,
but
we've had Dean on the show before.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that. I was on vacation, and you guys interviewed him, and he was
we had
like,
a great time. It was a lot of fun.
You just opened the gate, and he was like, going,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. We asked
He
one
was all
question,
in.
and he talked for 20 minutes.
Yeah, meet him in person. He's like bouncing off the walls. He's just a big ball of energy. He's awesome.
I love people like that.
It's
though.
cool.
Alan.
I would like to see the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
They've never really come around anywhere that I've been close to at a time where it was convenient that I could go, or at a time that I could afford to go. I mean, now I could afford it, but, you know, in the younger days, early on in the marriage, when you just bought your house, you got your new kid and all that stuff, you ain't got money to pay for a Rolling Stone ticket.
They were $100 back when a $100 ticket was expensive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Still
I had
expensive.
friends that exactly. I agree.
What's your
Yeah,
next
I would.
one?
They're now and now they're all just in huge. It's in football stadiums and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know if I'd want to go see
That
it.
$100 ticket's going to be half a mile away.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, easy. Yep.
What's
Back to
your
you,
next
Steve.
one, Steve?
I'm gonna take a trip back into the 7. Oh, the Dennis didn't know.
I was like, wait.
Well, we were hoping he
All right.
didn't
Well, I
notice.
tell you what, I'm actually going to piggyback on Alan because the Stones was one of the ones that I want to see. You know, my whole thing now is, except for one of the ones that I picked tonight, are bands that I have not seen that I got to see as soon as possible because the chances are they're not going to be around long enough. Luckily enough, I did go see the Who. Well, you know, 2 of the original
The
members.
Who's left.
Who's left of it? But I tell you what, it was a fucking phenomenal show, and it was with the symphony, and I've talked about it before. It's good.
Who haven't you seen?
And then I hadn't seen Pat Benatar, which I'm going to go see here in next month. That's another one of those. So I'm knocking those 2 already out. But Rolling Stones, that was another one that I do want to see. I mean, before it gets too late, Mick's already had his. His little valve trouble that they got fixed. Keith's going to be around forever. I mean, he's a
He's well preserved.
I'm not going to worry about that. But I mean, I do want to see the Stones, and it's just one of those things where, and I'm not a huge Stones fan. It's just I want to experience it, and just say, hey, I did get to see the Stones. So, and I kind of went to the Who like that, and my wife and I both came out of that concert going, so glad we went. Because it was very well worth it. So, same deal with the Stones. All right, Steve.
Cool. I would have absolutely loved to see Boston back in the day.
Oh,
that first album is just pure, unskippable gold, and never got to see them. And I would even like to see them when Michael Sweet was singing with them, but just to go see them, and I don't even know if they're even doing anything anymore. But I would have loved to see Boston, especially back in the day. Just like an amazing band.
That was one of my albums that I featured on my Facebook page last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
They came to Evansville. They came to Evansville here. It's been about 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't know who was singing with them because I think that was after Brad had committed suicide. But still, even to see him with Michael Sweet, I seen some of that video of him singing along with them. Oh my God, it was good. Mm-hmm. It was, yeah. That would be a great show. That would be an awesome show.
Yeah, because they do a version of "Peace of Mind" on one of their albums, and it's amazing.
It is very much.
All right, so my next one I have is Queen with Freddie Mercury. It never had an opportunity. They never came anywhere close to where I lived in Evansville around with those guys. Never came close. Never had an opportunity, but always wanted to see them and always just admired the show whenever you'd see video and stuff like that. But see them on TV and stuff like that. But I think as you get older, you start realizing that, man, those are the classic stuff, right? And you really start appreciating it more. But that's another one for me. I don't want to see them with Adam Lambert. I have no desire to see Adam Lambert. I don't care to see Adam Lambert. I'd love to go see them with Mark Martel. I'd go see him with him in a heartbeat. I do not want to see Adam Lambert. And it's just because to me, he makes the show more about him than about the music. And That's not really what I want to see.
But I did after watching.
No.
after we watched American, what you're going to say. After watching American Idol, when he was on there and helping, doing their things, Kelly and I both looked at each other and said, "You know what? I may want to go see that just to see what it is."
Okay.
But
It would have been cool to see him with Paul Rogers.
Well,
yes, I would
Mark
go see him with
Martell
Paul
would
Rogers
have been,
for sure. Yeah,
Mark
I could see him
Martell
with Paul
would have been
Rogers.
the guy.
Hell, I would have went to see him with George Michael. George Michael would have done a tour.
I would have seen that.
I would have seen that in a
seen
heartbeat. That is one of the that's probably one of the best.
And I
songs.
am going to see that here pretty soon. Wait a minute. No, I'm thinking something else. Never mind. No, he was on the tribute concert, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yes, I will be seeing that because I've got it on one of my thumb drives ready to watch on my television one of these days.
That's probably one of the best. I don't know.
Oh, it is one of the best tribute songs
I've
ever seen.
ever. I mean, it's just incredible.
But if Queen wanted to do something, I know why they got Lambert in there, because he brings the younger crowd in and they brings them other people. But Mark Martell would have been the person to bring in. That dude has got Freddie's voice down to almost. I mean, they used him on the movie. I mean, to do a lot of the extra stuff. I mean, the guy has got it down, and I've seen some shit that just sends shivers up. Just your spine just goes, oh God, oh shit.
Is he the guy that's on YouTube that is just like sitting at the piano singing? Is that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he plays in a traveling Queen. It's called the Queen Extravaganza. And the thing is, Brian and them know about him. He goes over and actually plays with them at some times for some of these tribute shows and what have you. So he's not like he's under the radar and they don't know who he is. They know who he is. They just picked, Lambert because he's going to bring a crowd of these women who are never going to get any along with him. Whatever.
I don't think that has anything to do with Freddie Mercury or Adam Lambert.
I know. That's what I'm saying. No. But
Mark Martell is actually a contemporary Christian artist.
Yes.
You can find him on, any of the contemporary Christian radio stations. That's his. Because I went to a contemporary Christian concert and he opened the show and I saw the name and I'm like, that name sounds really familiar. I know that name from somewhere. And the first note, I'm like, holy crap. I know exactly who he is. It was pretty cool. Alan, it's to you, right?
It is. I would like to have seen Ozzy Osbourne on the Ultimate Sin tour. Specifically that tour because by that time he had been through Randy Rhoads and Jake E. Lee, so we were up to Zach. No, wait a minute. When did Zach came
Gillis.
in? Zach came in
That'd be
on
Brad Gillis, right?
Brad Gillis was before Jake Lee.
Well, I'm talking
Ultimate
the big three
Sin.
when we talked about. Ultimate Sin was still Jake E. Lee. So the first tour with Zach Wilde, I believe. What?
No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked. That's
I could see the
could
album
not
cover.
think
Couldn't
of
think of the
that.
name of it.
I saw the Ultimate Sin concert.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
out
I
of
would like
Test-
to have seen with Zach because you get the best of all three of the three big guitarists as we had on that one episode of ours.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ozzy solo until 2 years ago
That's what I saw. I saw him last summer.
on the first leg of the. Actually, we saw him the first night of the second leg of that tour. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was
Crazy.
impressed. I'd never seen him before, and I was like blown away.
I know. And you tell people that, I've never seen Ozzy. I thought you were a metal fan, but it just like whenever he played, it just never worked out where I was able to go see him.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
not the matter that you don't want to go see it. Sometimes you just can't, or
Yeah,
they're
well,
not,
he was on-
or they don't come to town. Ozzy came to town for the Ultimate Sin concert, which we saw. That was the one where Metallica actually opened, and James broke his arm in the parking lot skateboarding that day. So Metallica couldn't play that night. They came out on stage going, "Sorry, man, James fell and broke his arm." So Ozzy played a little bit longer. And that was with Jakey. Then I seen him at Evans or at the Robert Stadium, but I don't even know who his guitar player was at that time. That was after Zach had been in and left. They had
Probably Joe Holmes, probably.
Probably, yeah. It was a good show. Don't get me wrong, but it was not. I wanted to see Zach.
I had tickets for Ozzy. Actually, he was supposed to play in Scranton, Pennsylvania in 1983, and the Archdiocese of Scranton shut the show down. It was supposed to be at the CYC, and it was canceled. And Hurricane was supposed to open up for them. Never got to see them.
Wow,
That sucks.
I had tickets in hand. Pissed me off.
wow. Yeah, Ozzy was one of those people on my See 'Em Before They Die tour. So he was one of them. Tom Petty was on there, and I didn't make it. I was off one year.
Yeah, me either.
Damn it.
All right. Who's next?
Dennis.
You are, Dennis.
All right. So this is not a big one, but Eagles. I have never seen the Eagles. I know that, Alan, you got to see them earlier this year, wasn't it? Did you not go to Louisville?
I have never seen the Eagles.
Somebody went. I know when. Anyway, I thought you did. But, of course, I missed it before Glenn passed away. But, I mean, now they got Vince Gill and Glenn's brother, or Glenn's son, I guess they doubled up.
Deacon.
Yeah. But I would like to see them. That's one, and we didn't get a chance to see it this last round. They're going to be in Vegas here coming up. And then
Hotel California.
They're doing in its entirety. I'm like going, oh shit! It's like I would love to go, but the Eagles
for that are going to be rapacious.
Oh, they're going to be Just I don't work that hard. I'm not going to work that hard. I just don't make that much money. How's that? So yeah, I'm not going to go. But yeah, Eagles is one of those bands I do want to see.
Yeah, I didn't know Vince Gill was with them.
Yeah, he's been with them the last couple of years, actually.
Oh, really? He's amazing. He's an amazing guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was as soon as Glenn passed away. As soon as they went back on tour after Glenn passed away.
Yeah, that's right.
They brought in his son, and they brought in because they needed a guitar player and they needed a singer. Well, of course, Vince can sing all those harmonies. He's going to be just golden throat on that. And the dude's a hell of a guitar player. I mean,
he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, and I think too, he is a country person, but he started out playing rock and roll, and he's got some rock in him. So I think this is kind of fun for him too. It gives him an opportunity to do a little rock and roll.
Well, he got a little Pure Prairie League in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Amy,
watch him on the Crossroads DVDs.
Oh yeah,
the Guitar Festival ones. He tears it up. It's like he kicks ass.
Yep.
Yeah, my wife and I went and saw Vince Gill here in Evansville back in the mid-'90s.
Probably, was it a Christmas show?
No.
At Robert Stadium?
No.
Okay. We saw that.
He was on tour. He wasn't on tour with Amy Grant, but he was on tour with a female singer.
Yeah, probably might have been his wife.
He was still married to his wife. He was still married to his wife when we saw him the first time. He made a joke about his wife.
I want to say that it was Patty Loveless, but that...
Oh, they did a tour together.
That may or may not be correct.
No, you might be right. They did a tour together.
Yeah, that would have been like it would have had to have been after 96 because that's when my son was born.
Who swerved the country? This is what happens when 90s. This is what happens when 90s rock comes along. Everybody swerves the country.
Exactly.
I will be honest with you. I went to that show completely against my will.
Right.
Not me. Vince Gill's a great guy.
Vince made the funniest joke that night, though. He said his credit card got stolen and he called the credit card company. He said, "You want to cancel it?" He said, "No, the guy's spending less than my wife spends." That's kind of funny. Just let him go.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is. All right. Where are we at? Who's
Back
next?
Steve.
Steve. Number 3.
Last one, right?
You guys mentioned Foreigner before. I haven't seen them, but the band that I kind of an under the radar band. They're only really known for a couple songs, but I've never got to see Foghat. I always thought they were just a phenomenal band. I grew up just like rocking the hell out of Foghat live, and I think the drummer is the only guy left alive these days. I think, but they're still out there, and I think they're playing close to us coming up pretty soon, so I'm going to try to get to see that. But I've always wanted to see Foghat. Yeah, I remember back in the day, right before I was just old, like not quite old enough to go to concerts yet. They played at a racetrack, just like maybe like 30 miles from us. They did like a jam. It was like Joe Perry Project and Foghat, and I think maybe Joan Jett played. But I never got to see those guys, and I just always loved their music. And if you want to check out a good album, check out Foghat Live and check out Foghat Live 2. And that's a double album, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. They're a great band.
Cool. I always like Foghat. That is good. I just got Stone Blue the other day. I think on my last record band. It was good. Yeah. I like that.
Okay, I'm going to swerve.
All right, we're going to swerve to.
A person I haven't seen. I would have really liked to have seen Prince.
Well, that's not a swerve.
It's not so far of a swerve. He's a rocker.
It's. I mean, from where we're at, that dude had so much talent that just died way too soon, and it's all in a can somewhere that hopefully we'll get to see at some point. But my gosh, I mean, it's always amazing, just his writing and the stuff he wrote for other people, and wow, just incredible. And
they just released some stuff today.
Yeah, they released. Yeah. Oh, today? Oh, I don't know about that.
I heard in the last couple of days some real high quality. They said
I know they were releasing some stuff, but I didn't know when.
No, it was on Facebook today.
My sister went the best Super Bowl show ever.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. Right. My sister went to see him, and at the end of the show, and I forget what tour it was, he said, when you leave, don't forget to pick up your free CD of our new free CD. He gave everybody in the venue when they left. And people sat there handing out CDs out of boxes. He gave it all away.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that was I think that was at the time whenever he was in that whole Warner Brothers argument with when he changed
the symbol,
the symbol, because it was all about defiance and stuff like that. So he just gave it away because he didn't need the money. And I'd love to have seen him.
I know that his family has opened up Paisley Park. Now you can actually take tours up there. And if it wasn't so damn far away, I'd love to go see that. I mean, it's supposed to be a state-of-the-art studio. It's where he recorded some of his last few albums.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, and I guess it's got a lot of his memory. I guess they're doing it kind of like a Graceland kind of situation, and you can get these different packages where you can go see deeper into it and what have you. But I mean, I think it's smart for the family to do that. I mean, I'm sure they're going to bank all kinds of shit on that. But, there's an interest for that, and people want to see it, so that's a cool deal.
Good pick.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Well, my third pick has already been mentioned tonight, but I always wanted to see Tom Petty. I was supposed to take my dad to go see Tom Petty, and I don't even remember. Something came up, neither one of us ended up being able to go, and then, I'll catch him next time, No, you won't.
No next time.
Next time. And as a bonus, I would like to have seen Tom Petty with the Traveling Wilburys.
Well, they're all dead now, right?
No, Bob Dylan is still alive, and so is Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne's still alive.
Jeff Lynne, yeah, Jeff Lynne's
still alive. See, Mike, I got it right this time, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we actually got something right for a change. Isn't that amazing?
Well, I have to remember these facts that we get wrong because if we get them wrong twice in a row, my phone is going to blow up.
Oh, you got Tom Petty, George Harrison, and
Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison, yeah, that was the three that are passed. There was five of them, right?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So,
come on, everybody knows that.
Another fact.
I wasn't. I mean, they were good. That wasn't somebody I was really that into. But I understand where you're coming from for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of talent in that little pool.
Well, yeah, you've got ELO and the Beatles and the Heartbreakers
and Roy Orbison, who's basically,
Yeah.
He covers that Van Halen song.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What is that? What was that little song, Pretty Woman or something like that? That Van Halen
slowed
really,
it down. He makes it really kind of weenie.
All right, Dennis, I'm done with mine. What's your last?
All right, I'm just going to go. I can go. You want me to go left or you want me to go right? I can go. So I got.
You want you to go straight for once? That'd be a miracle.
Straight. Okay, straight. This is a current band that is out on tour. They've been playing all over the goddamn world except for in the United States, which pisses me off. They're one of my favorite bands. They're the band that whenever I put them on, every once in a while, I'll put it on, and I fucking smile from my grin's small, bigger than the Joker's smile, and I just love their fucking music. And it's a band called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with those guys.
Talked about them before.
I know, and if I keep promoting them because if you haven't heard them, go on to Spotify, go on to wherever you can find them. But they have like 8 albums. All they do is cover tunes. They do punk cover tunes of popular songs, and it's fucking. Sometimes they'll do like they did a whole country song. They do Jolene in a punk version. They do Rocket Man in a punk version. The first song I ever heard was "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." It's a punk version, and it's the greatest thing. I mean, go on YouTube and put on their Me First Gimme Gimme's live and find one of their festival shows and just sit and watch it. Chris Shiflett from Foo Fighters, his brother plays in that band. And like I said, and Chris actually played in there. He plays with them every once in a while when he's not on tour. He goes out and has fun and plays guitar with them. But it is just a fun fucking party band to listen to, and they don't take themselves serious, but you just never see them around. I mean, they play California a lot, but they go overseas and they play constant over there. They're loved overseas. But anyway,
they're the guys that recorded the live album at a bar mitzvah, right?
Yes,
that is correct.
Okay. Dylan was talking about
Ruining Johnny's bar mitzvah. That's and they're like going, it's so
when
funny.
You said that name, I'm like, why do I know that name? And Dylan was talking about him on our show a couple of weeks ago. And it's crazy. So have a bar mitzvah. Maybe you can get him to come out to your bar mitzvah.
Yeah, Ruining Johnny's Bar Mitzvah. That's the name of the album. And they do, I think on that one they have a Heart of Glass. It's the fastest version of Heart of Glass I've ever heard in my life. That drummer, I've watched it doing it live. He's just double bass. It's the craziest shit ever. But it just brings a smile to my face. I mean, every time if I'm in a bad mood, I'll put that shit on and I'll just love it. But cool. I mean, they just take every old song you can think about and they do a punk version of it. Speed it up, and make it happy. It's great. So anyway,
so
Barry Manilow was the other side.
So Stephen, what were your three?
My three were Boston, Foghat, and Zebra.
Mine were Journey, Queen, and Prince. What were yours, Alan? Do you remember? Hey, you're muted. You're muted, bro.
He's muted.
You're muted, bro.
Rolling Stones, Ozzy, and Tom Petty.
Dennis.
Rolling Stones, Me First, the Gimme Gimmes, and Eagles.
Ah, cool. I just want to recap. I thought I was curious.
Barry Manilow is another one. I'm a Manilow.
We could have made this like a 1 minute episode.
He is incredible live.
And he's getting to that point now. It's almost a do or die. I got to get. If I get to, I was just in Vegas last summer, and I was like, I almost went. I'm like, fuck,
you should have went.
I should have
went.
Yeah, he had the best line I've ever heard any artist say, and he's a guy that he gets it. He gets what he does. He said he had played like maybe 2 songs at the beginning of the show, and he's like, welcome everybody. We're gonna have a great night of passionate music for all you women out there and the husbands that got dragged along. There's the guy that knows his crowd right there, and it was a phenomenal show. And it was funny because the tickets we had were next to my dad's boss was sitting next to us, and her and her sister-in-law were sitting there. And I had a couple beers before the show. So I said to her, you know what, Linda? I said, this is the first show that I ever went to that I haven't been frisked for drugs or weapons. And she was like, oh my God. But it was just such a great show. It was excellent. I mean, the guy gets it. And it was phenomenal.
And you know what? He sings the songs that everybody wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? He's just like the whole world sings. Yeah, I know. I got it. I corrected myself. But yeah, no, it's one of those things you're gonna know every fucking song. He's not gonna go, here's a new song from my latest album. No, he ain't gonna do that. He's gonna play Mandy. He's gonna play shit that Anyway.
Cool.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for being on. We sure appreciate it.
Thanks
for having me. It was a blast.
Pimp your podcast.
Pimp it.
Our podcast is called the Hotter Than Hell Podcast. We have released a new episode every week on Friday at noon. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast. We're on there. We have a YouTube channel. You can watch it. Well, you can watch the logo while we talk because we're just an audio only podcast. And you guys look at me now, you can see why. And I want to thank you guys for letting me come on and just give a shout out to my co-hosts BC, BB, and my awesome son Dylan. That Dylan is the rock that makes us roll, and we just have a great time doing it. And we will definitely see you guys in Nashville.
That's cool, man. Hey, we need to start doing that. We need to start doing that. BA and AT.
That's too much. That's too much to have to remember.
I know. I had to really think about it for a minute. I was like, going, okay, Bill, A, B, A. Okay.
God.
Yeah,
We
everyone
don't
has
need-
nicknames except for me on our show.
We don't need it to be that complicated.
No, we're already complicated enough the way
We had
it
to
is.
redo the beginning, remember?
That's a weekly thing for us.
I am
Whatever.
looking forward to seeing you guys though in
Yep.
Nashville.
We'll see
like
you
I said,
soon.
we're gonna have a good time. And you haven't seen the Rock and Roll Residency yet, right? Play.
No, I haven't.
Be-
I've seen them
do-
play.
do
I've
not
seen them play
miss
in
that.
Band and Ace's band, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen them play.
You're
Yeah,
in.
do not miss
a
that. You're in for a
fucking
treat.
Fucking yeah. We're gonna
Tearing it
drink
up.
beer and listen to some
I
rock.
can't wait to see those guys. Those guys are awesome.
Awesome, man.
All right,
All right,
folks.
take care, bro.
That is it for us. Visit us on agesofrock.com. Find all of our social media stuff, our Stitcher Radio link. Find out information about the Rock and Pod Expo on our website. Until next week, peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.